So far this year, I have contributed over $16,000 Canadian into my TFSA, RRSP, and First Home Savings account combined. So let's do another net worth update video. This is something that I have originally planned to do every month, but sometimes life just gets in the way. I've been very busy with work, and recording and editing these videos is also a lot of work. So pardon me, here we are now. Let's get into it. In this video, you will see what has happened with my investment portfolio in the last 4 months since my last update on December 30th, 2025. You will also see my total assets, my liabilities, and how I plan to continue to grow my wealth into the future. For context, I am a 36-year-old registered nurse living in Canada, and I used to be an accountant, but decided to jump ship after 6 years of working in finance to become a registered nurse. I have also been living in Canada for exactly 6 years and 2 months now, and I started my investment journey 5 years ago in 2021. And by the special grace of God, I have managed to build a 6-figure investment portfolio, and I continue to encourage my friends and family to do exactly the same. So far this year, I have contributed over $16,000 Canadian into my TFSA, RRSP, and First Home Savings account combined. $5,550 into my TFSA, $8,000 into my First Home Savings account, and the remaining $2,486 came from the RRSP of a previous employer. My TFSA room is already maxed out for 2026, even though I have only contributed $5,550 this year, and the contribution limit is $7,000 for 2026. Don't worry, I will tell you exactly what happened. And this is something that you should avoid as much as you can. At some point after I started my investment journey in 2021, I overcontributed by about $1,500 Canadian into my TFSA account. So I decided to make the correction this year after I realized my mistake at the end of 2025 by contributing less than the allowed amount in 2026. This is exactly one of the problems with these tax advantaged accounts we have here in Canada. You have to be the one tracking your contributions yourself, and you have to make sure that you are not over contributing, because if you do, the CRA will be coming for you at some point down the road. There is a 1% penalty for every month you carry the excess contribution in any of your tax advantaged accounts, be it the TFSA, the RRSP, or your FHSA. Since my last net worth update video, my net worth has gone up by 23,000 Canadian dollars. My assets now sit at $156,500, up by $17,900, and my liabilities now sit at $31,495, and it is down by 5,200 Canadian dollars. And this is exactly how you build wealth in a nutshell. Keep your expenses low, increase assets, reduce liabilities, save, invest in ETFs or quality companies, and then do nothing else. If you take away my contributions into all of my accounts, my net worth has actually grown by over $7,000 this year. Last year, my investments brought in $16,000 in gains, and 4 months into the year 2026, I am already up $7,000. I currently have approximately $84,000 in my Wealthsimple brokerage account. And here I have 3 accounts: TFSA, FHSA, the RRSP. And if you look into these accounts, the investments that I hold are just pretty much 2 ETFs, QQC and VFV, which is the S&P 500 ETF. And the QQC is the Invesco Nasdaq 100 Index ETF. Same thing in my First Home Savings account, and pretty much the same thing in my RRSP account. So a bulk of my investment portfolio in my Wealthsimple brokerage account is just made up of 2 ETFs. I try to keep things simple, no complications. However, approximately $6,000 of this money is sitting in my son's RESP account. It does not belong to me, so I do not include it as part of my net worth. I have $47,000 in my Quest Trade brokerage account, which is further broken down into about $12,500 in my TFSA, $10,700 in my RRSP, and $23,800 in my first home savings account. And in this brokerage account, I hold the following individual companies: Duolingo, Amazon, MasterCard, Meta, and Google. Nothing too fancy, just great companies with the potential to continue to grow over time. When I first started investing, I focused so much on investment gains, trying to pick winning stocks. But the truth is, strategies like this will easily burn you if you do not know what you are doing. Don't get me wrong, there are people who make a lot of money chasing trends in the stock market. But unfortunately for me, I have to go to work every day to my job, and I do not have time to pay attention to everything that goes on in the stock market. However, my strategy going forward is simple: invest more into ETFs and be on the lookout for great companies to buy when the opportunity presents itself. The extra gains help boost my overall investment portfolio value. And after all this is done, I do nothing else and I allow my money to work for me. I have worked very hard over the last 5 years to build what I have today, and I do not take it for granted. It is, however, time for me to turn my attention to other things that I care about. Travel. I do not care about driving fancy cars or wearing fancy clothing. But over time, I believe that traveling has become more and more appealing to me, and maybe a little bit of fine dining. And occasionally, I love wearing nice shoes as well, but nothing too excessive. And at some point this year, I will be traveling to the UK for a few days. Spend time with some friends whom we all started out working together 10 years ago and have stayed friends since then, even with all of the distance between us. So that's it for today's video. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe, like, and share the video. And if you also plan to start your investment journey, let me be the first person to tell you that it is very much possible. And this is coming from somebody who started out investing only $500. But here we are today with over $100,000 invested.